Okay, so now we're going to pick up where we left off last night and keep refactoring this unit code. Make sure the game runs. Great. So I want to take these units out of their nested tables here, because we're duplicating this information and that's not what we want to do. Let's see if this runs. Yeah. Okay. Now we need to update all of our unit interaction code. We're going to end up largely rewriting this, but that's fine. So one of the disadvantages of storing this unit information more cleanly is that we are, I think, going to have to track where we're going to have to track the index of a unit of interest alongside the unit itself and pass that around, because we're not directly keying into a table anymore. I think. Hey again, so does Pick-a-Wait have a debugger? That's a good question. I don't actually know. Pick-a-Wait came with a fine manual, but in hacker spirit here, I didn't read the damn thing, so I don't know. What I have done is this. I just wrote some little debug function that contains the information that I care about, and that's how we're getting this text overlay here. I hit some button once that like made some. See, I'm hitting function keys randomly and it's doing stuff. I probably should read the fine manual, but I have not. I hope it has a debugger, because there have been one or two occasions where I've wished I had a proper one. But for now, I've just been doing this kind of kludgy thing here with my debug method I wrote. I don't know how Lua is gonna... what it's gonna do here. If this is passed by reference or value, or what this is doing. Or not passed, but assigned a reference or a value, a pointer, I don't know. Let's see what that... I mean, this surely doesn't... No, it does. maybe. Oh, is it not? Alright. It's gonna crash. Yes. Oh, jeez. Pour a little more coffee here. That's not going to be visible because the display is going to run on top of it. See, this is where I would actually really like to have a debugger. I don't understand why that's not doing anything. Wait, yes I do. Okay. So that much works. So this selected thing isn't working. Where did that go? This doesn't work, I guess. So that must be copying by value or something. But I don't know. I don't know what this is actually doing. If that's making a copy or what. What should happen? So, again, here I'm trying to compensate for the fact that I don't have access to a debugger, or at least I don't think I do. So what I'm trying to determine a few things here. The simplest answer to your question right now is if I press X, which is like the action button in my game here, we attempt to determine if there is a unit beneath the cursor, and if there is a unit beneath the cursor, and if that unit is on the team of the current player, so player one when the turn starts, we want to take that unit and move them to this arbitrary position I've picked, and that's just debugging nonsense I'm doing. And then this is debugging nonsense I'm doing. I'm trying to set this value, this integer value of 10, to self.cell, which is a property on the cursor table. And I'm only doing that, again, because I'm trying to compensate for not having a proper debugger here. Where's cell? Oh, actually, this is kind of screwed up. That's kind of screwed up. So really all I'm trying to do, to answer your question, is just to ensure that the code does what I think it's doing up to this point, because the broad problem we're trying to solve is that we have a table of units, and I keep saying table, I don't mean databases here. It's that in Lua there's only one data structure, and it's called tables. It's called a table. And in Lua you would implement, you know, associative arrays or tuples or maps or hashes or whatever data structures you might have in other languages. In Lua everything is a table, but kind of functionally though our table is an array here. And what I'm trying to determine, again, given that I don't know Lua actually, is when this assignment is performed, specifically when this assignment is performed, is self.cell copying a value that looks identical to that at unit, or is it being passed a pointer to that space in memory, or what is it doing? I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is Lua object-oriented? Strictly speaking, it is not, at least to my understanding. That said, you can make it behave as if it were object-oriented, and I'm doing a little bit of that already. I think you would say that Lua is duck-typed, or prototyped. So if you've ever used JavaScript, that's a common duck-type language. And if you're not familiar with the term, that's kind of a pun on if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, whatever, it's probably a duck. What you do in Lua, and again, I'm not a Lua expert by any means here, I'm reading the manual casually when I have the time. My understanding is that the way you kind of approach the object-oriented paradigm in Lua is that you create a table. So here we have a unit table, and that in our unit case here, this table functions as the prototype of all of our units, and is kind of sort of analogous to your class definition, right? In a truly object-oriented language. And what we're doing here is that on that one table, we have created a new method, which when invoked creates a new empty table and points and sets on that empty table. It does this magic here, this kind of meta-programming magic here, where it says if a method is invoked on you here, treat this table as the meta table reference. So again, it's the prototype. So if you invoke, for example, move on this U, and there is not a move method attached to this U, this U is going to look up to this unit table and then invoke that method. So it's kind of like, if you ever worked in Ruby before, it's sort of like the method missing thing they do there, I think. Or again, it's very much like in JavaScript, you just have prototypes, and it's, I guess, identical to that pattern. But again, that's my understanding, and I've only been working in Lua for 10 hours now or something, so I don't know. I might be wrong. What languages have you been working in, Subvertus? I know you said you're a CS student. What do they have you working on these days? Oh, right. I think I fixed... Let's see if this does something now. C++ and some Java. Cool. I don't really know C or C++ or Java for that matter. I've done just a little bit of work in all of them, but I, in particular, really wish I knew C better than I do. I might carve out some time next year to learn C, even though I don't really have, I guess, many opportunities to use it. I still feel like I should know it better than I do. I've used it to patch some, like this terminal. This is the suckless terminal, ST, and I wrote like a patch for it or whatever. I've done trivial work in C, but nothing serious. I've also used JavaScript. Yeah, okay, that's cool. So I'll try to talk in JavaScript terms then, because I've done a lot of work in JavaScript, so we have that language in common, fortunately. So we've reloaded. I click on nothing, and nothing happens. And that's what we want. And I click on a unit, and this isn't what we want. Game.cursor.cell. How did that break? Oh wait, that was accidentally more informative than I intended. Let's do this real quick. Cell 10, so this is executing. And now what this is saying, self.cell equals unit. This should crash again. The hell? Did I not save? Reload. Okay, good. So we know that cell is a table value, so that's very informative. Just trash that. Now again, the only question is that is that a pointer or a value? The unit.at function, that is one I wrote here. And what this is doing is it accepts three parameters, an X cell coordinate and a Y cell coordinate, and those you can see in our game here. That's the position of our yellow cursor. And then units, kick up our music again here. Units is the table of units associated with each map. And what we can see here is right now what I'm doing, and I think I'll probably keep doing this forever, is each map has its own Lua file wherein we initialize a table and also initialize every unit by invoking this units constructor. So this units here is being passed in here, game.map.units. So this guy, you know, on the case of map 1 is this guy. And what it's doing is if there is a unit at that XY coordinate, return the unit, otherwise return a Boolean false. And I'm not in love with that pattern. There's a lot I'm not in love with here, but I'm kind of trying to just wade into this and write bad code and eventually write better code. The way this all worked initially, which wasn't terrible, but it was that there was a lot more nesting happening in this units table. So instead of having units and then a bunch of units, it was units and then a player 1 table and a player 2 table nested, and then within there it would be units, player 1, player 2, and then an X coordinate, and then nested in there a Y coordinate, and then finally a unit. So the path would be, you know, units table, player table, X coordinate, Y coordinate, and that's how you would address a unit. And that had some advantages for sure, or what I'm trying to refactor into. It was more efficient, for one thing. Not that efficiency is a big problem here at all. But when I began to try to write animations, what I found was it became necessary, or at least I think it became necessary. This is why I'm doing all this. I think it is necessary, or at least a good idea, to embed all of that, to embed each unit's positional data within the unit itself. So, you know, the cell and pixel coordinates specifically. Because what I want is, even though, again, Lua isn't truly object-oriented, I want to move my code in that kind of direction such that there is a clean separation of concerns among the cursor and the maps and the units. Whereas in that initial implementation, even though it worked fine, it actually worked well, the lines between those concerns were blurred. And again, like I said, when you start to try to do the mapping stuff, it got the animation stuff, it got really ugly really fast. So we're trying to clean all that up. And again, I think the primary difficulty I'm running into now is just not being a Lua guy. So we kind of just need to bang our heads against this wall till the wall collapses, I suppose. Where are you going to school, Subvertus? Are you in the U.S. or where are you at? I think I mentioned I'm in Florida. I taught at the University of Florida for a little while. It's kind of fun. Debug line 33. Game.cursor.cell. What is the problem? Attempt to concatenate a field value. Sure. In the EU? That's cool. I've never been to Europe. I'd like to go one day, but I guess this isn't the year for that, huh? I don't even need to sell X thing. That's totally redundant. How is this a table? But not... Oh, wait a minute. I get it. I get it. This has a different shape now. I've been working a lot in Go for the last couple of years, and Go is strongly typed, and whenever I have to work in a language that it's not, I hate my life, because strong typing would have just saved us an hour right here, probably. So the issue here is that this just doesn't have the shape that I was thinking that it had. Because this is now a unit versus some arbitrary coordinate set. Okay. So now if we can do this, we know we have like an actual pointer to the initial object. Let's see what this is going to do. Self dot cell dot. It's really, we want to do this. If we see this thing move, that means this fundamentally should work, I think. Okay, that's cool. So okay. This might get tricky later on when we're blowing up units and stuff, and we need to take them out of the array. Are there pointers in Lua? That's a damn good question, and I wish I knew the answer. But I don't. I know Lua interoperates closely with C, so presumably there's some elegant way to handle, you know, C pointers, but I don't actually know if Lua has pointers. What I have here on my desk is kind of older version of the Lua manual, but it's close to the right version of Lua for PIC 08. Because again, like real Lua is on like version 5.4 or something, and PIC 08's like 5.1 or 5.2 or something. I don't immediately see anything about pointers in the index, so I don't know. But again, it kind of looks like this thing we just did actually worked. You know, so what I'm assuming happened here is that self.cell is a reference to unit rather than a shallow copy of its properties, right? Because if it were a shallow copy, that would not have worked. Because while unit, this unit that we selected here, this guy is in the map units table and will thus be drawn. And will be drawn here. But this other guy, this self.cell, is just some arbitrary property I tacked on there. Yeah, it's... I don't know how... I think in JavaScript, I think you do get shallow copies of objects, don't you? I don't actually know. I guess we can figure that out real quick. How's my cursor? Oh. Well, here, I don't want to do that. Oops. Okay. Yeah, let's go on a brief detour here. So, Yeah, okay. It is like JavaScript. Yeah, it's like JavaScript. So we created foo, we set baz to alpha, created var, set it to foo, changed baz on var, and we see that that change propagated to foo. So yeah, that's a good call. It is exactly like JavaScript. Yeah, okay. So we got that figured out. So what have we learned here? What distro? So, this is a pretty custom machine I'm running here. The base distro is Debian Buster, Debian 10 or whatever. But when I installed it, I installed, like, it was, excuse me, headless. There's no desktop environment at all. And then what I did is I wrote a bunch of Ansible scripts that kind of package by package built the desktop environment that I want on top of it. And so my desktop environment is primarily i3. The window manager you're seeing is i3. And then the only other interesting thing I've done here, i3, and then my launcher is dmenu. I'm a big fan in general of Suckless. I don't know if you've heard of these guys. Let me give you a URL. Suckless.org. They're kind of unapologetic computer elitists that write a lot of tools that are simple in some sense of the word. Like simple, like if you want to change it, just, you know, clone the source, modify the C, recompile, that kind of thing. So they write a lot of like lean C-based applications for programmers. So yeah, I'm using and dmenu. I mentioned them because dmenu is a project of theirs, as is ST, which is the terminal I'm running. I just really appreciate their no bloat approach to programming. But yeah, so it's Debian headless. Then I dropped i3 on it and did a bunch of configs. And the only other interesting thing of note is that, you know, Debian I like because it is, in my experience, it's rock solid. But the flip side is that, you know, it's rock solid because a lot of the packages are like 18 months old, right? So what I'm doing is, for most packages, I'm just using the Debian apt package manager for most everything. But for the handful of packages that I want to be like bleeding edge, I'm using another packager called Nix, which is this guy. Kind of in general, it's a sin to mix two package managers because you're going to cause a headache for yourself. But in the case of Nix, you're fine because Nix installs its packages outside of the traditional Linux file system hierarchy standard or whatever. So Nix can coexist side by side along apt without conflict. And what I found is that combination is truly a best of all worlds thing, where I get the rock solid stability of Debian, and then for just the 5 or 6 programs that I want bleeding edge, like Endin here, I manage that in Nix, and it's great. It's perfect. I actually just rebuilt this machine like I don't know, last month or something. It's kind of a whole project because it took a lot of effort to write the Ansible scripts to do the remastering. But now that works, it works very, very well. And the advantage of this is that I have a lot of freedom to experiment with my hardware and stuff without fear of ruining my system. Because if I ripped out that hard drive and threw it away and put in a new one, I could run the Ansible scripts and get this exact machine back in, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. So it's very convenient in that regard. Okay, so we should be able to do actual work here, I think, now. So see, here's an idiom I'm not sure of. Back to that question about Lua being object-oriented, I don't... What I want now is to implement a method that I can invoke on this unit. But I don't actually know what that pattern is. I think it might be this. So let's just do that and see if the compiler yells at us, I guess. Let's just put that back in and even see if that... Okay, that's fine. So this isn't, like, wrong. So what happens if we... Here, this isn't the logic we want, but again, we're experimenting to see how this works. Go to 5.5. See what that does. Okay. Attempt to index local self. Attempt to index local self. A number value. Why the hell is that a number value? So this definitely doesn't do what I thought it would. I don't want to sit here reading on stream, so I'm gonna just do this the dumb way for now. We should be able to get away with this. Should be able to get away with unit dot. Cell.x. This should work, right? This is what we were doing, I think. Well, wait a minute. Oh, no, that's fine, that's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna do 2 minutes of reading on screen, and let's just see if we can... So this should be straightforward if we can just get a method on this guy. I'm surprised that this did not work. Kinda. Here, we can at least read together on screen. So this is the pattern that we're doing. Am I stupid? Where's the actual code for this deposit method that they're talking about? Like, that's... How can they... Come on, man. I don't see how that's different than what we've done here. Oh, wait a minute. I did this. Oh, I did a dumb thing. Okay, I think I get it. This is gonna crash. Yeah, okay. I need to invoke this with a colon. So, this is a weird thing about Lua. I don't even think I like this. I think I consider this a misfeature of the language. This syntax is syntactic sugar for this. I think that's kind of stupid. I don't like it. But that's the language, I think. Let's make sure I'm right. Yeah, okay. Okay, so, again, stupid, but whatever. So I don't think we need any of this now. Yeah, I don't think we do. I also think we probably understand our patterns now for solving this, so that's nice. So I think we can actually solve this now. Let's see. This is all garbage. So, garbage. So if there is a unit, and if the unit is on our team, select the unit. think that's it. And then if there is not a unit and there is a unit selected. Another thing I don't know is if let's comment this out real quick. I don't know if an empty table is gonna evaluate to nil or to that. I don't know how that's gonna type invert. Okay, so that was that debug complaining. Debug. What's this gonna do for us? Okay, so is that fine? So nil will absolutely, this should work. So if not unit, because unit will be, wait, unit is false here anyway. Wait, unit will be false. Self.cell, I'll just make you false too. Who cares? It's a scripting language, whatever. If not unit and self.cell. So if we don't have a unit beneath our cursor, but we do have a unit selected, then we want to move the unit. Well, it's more complicated than that, but not accounting for which team you're on and if terrain is passable, we want to move the unit. So unit :move, so we don't do that stupid thing again. And then we need the cursor position, which is going to be cell.x and y. So let's see what that does. So I click nowhere, nothing happens. I click on a blue unit. We see we have a blue unit selected. I click on nowhere and we get a crash, okay? Attempt to index local unit. Cursor on 99. What? Didn't I just do this? What? $99. Attempt to index local unit, a Boolean value. Oh, right. Wait. This should be self.selected. Because we've determined that we don't have a unit beneath our cursor, and that's what unit is. Which isn't a great name, maybe, in hindsight. So if there is no unit beneath the cursor, and we have a unit selected, move the selected unit. That sounds correct. Click nowhere, it does nothing. Click a unit, click nowhere, it moves. And he is still selected. that's... Do I care about that now? I guess I'll just do all that. Yeah, I'll do all that now. But we want more than this. We also only want to move the unit if the terrain is passable, so self.cell.pass. So we shouldn't be able to dunk our guy in the lake here. So he can move, he can move, he can move, and he does not go in the lake. Can I drop him on an enemy? I cannot. And that's good. Okay. Yeah, see, this is going to end up dramatically cleaner than our initial implementation, so I'm glad we went this route, even though it's been kind of a 2 or 3 day detour. A little more coffee. Okay, so... Okay, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, have a good night or day or whatever. We'll see you again. Take care. So now... So let's comment what we're doing. There is no unit beneath our cursor, and we have a unit selected, and the terrain beneath our cursor is passable. Move the unit. And move the unit, clear the unit selection, and end the player's turn. So clear the unit selection is self.cell is false. And self-turn end. I think that gets that. And now we're player 2. Now we're player 1, and I cannot move player 2's units. Yeah, this is going to be a lot cleaner. So we can now trash all of this, I think. Actually, let's change this too, because we should be able to shave a few clock cycles off with an else if there. So it's 13.5. Oops. Oh. Not really, but that's still more correct anyway. So we trash all of this. trash all of this. And then now all we need to do is provide a mechanism for opening the battle menu. I think the logic from last time was not unit and not self-cell. Might be right. Some player 1. Yeah. I click my guy, I move my guy, I'm player 2, I click player 1, nothing happens. Accidentally yielded my turn. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think we're back to where we were now. And then let's put this guy back. If button press 4 and self.cell X and self.cell, then self.cell is false. So I select a guy and I hit Z and he's unselected. Yeah, that all looks correct. So let's see where we are for the night. That might conclude that refactoring. This is done. Let's take a look at these diffs. Run our linter and formatter. See this diff. So, oh, and then there's that encapsulate in a table. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do that another commit though. So self.cell is now initialized to false. And now all of that convolution is simplified out into this. This is much cleaner. Looks great. It's a good diff. Let's just commit that. Yeah, I think that's it. And that's probably, let's run through this one more time, but that's probably ready for master. Let's close our little JavaScript sidebar here. Reload. Just make sure we can't make this thing do anything screwy. Yeah, that all looks good to me. So that'll, I'll stop there for the night. So next time we pick this up, I just want to quickly consolidate all that into a table, which should be straightforward, presumably. And then I think we're doing animations now, because now all of the positional information for each unit is recorded within each unit. So yeah, I think we're ready to animate, and I think this refactoring is now in a pretty good spot. There's probably still some refactoring to do in terms of how we package our files, again, accounting for the differences in how Lua wants you to build modules versus how Pick-O-8 requires you to build modules. But I don't think any code is in a disastrous state now, quality-wise. A lot of this is probably still needs some attention, but again, nothing is disastrous. Oh, the this is stupid. Yeah. One last pass through our game tonight. That all looks good. So yeah, next time we pick up, I guess it's animations now. So that'll be cool. It'll start to feel more like a real game. And that'll probably take a few nights because we're gonna need to animate moving the actual units and then animate moving like the camera when a player's turn ends and stuff. So yeah, I'll probably spend the next few nights on animations and stuff. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Anyway, I'll call it there for the night. Thanks for hanging out, guys, and have a good night. See you next time.